welcome, welcome. Good afternoon and welcome to Jazzabrations Live, and I'm your host, Linda Morgan, coming to you today with a new debut show. Yes, this is my 10th or 11th show here at Morris Media Studios, and I have decided to do some things. I've decided to make some changes and really format and get comfortable with my broadcasting every week. So this Sunday, the first Sunday of the month, we will be debuting as First Sunday's All Music Live Jam. Yes, that means that I will be showcasing all of my friends who are R&B and soul and gospel, everything other than jazz and blues. But today on the show with me today, I have a very good friend who we will be having in the studio, and I am excited about it. I am over the moon, over the top excited to have my guest today. As you saw in the intro, Mr. Tony Sam is here in the studio with me today. Well, thank you for joining me, Mr. Sam.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you very much for inviting me.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to dive in as to who this gentleman is sitting next to me.
Nobody.
Oh, stop it. In a minute. But I do want you to know that you can call in. We know we have several friends and family that want to call in. This show will be about calling in and saying hello and saying whatever you'd like to say to our guest, Tony Sam. And that number is 323-293-3375. 323-293-3375. And I just want to invite you to join us on Facebook if you're looking at us on YouTube. We're on my station, Jazzabrations Live as well. We're trying this technology out. We're trying to get it down to a science so that it will be perfect for you by the new year. But anyway, so we're going to jump into a little conversation, just me and him here in the studio today. Mr. Sam, how are you today again?
I'm doing real good. And yourself?
I'm doing wonderful.
Great. Good to see you.
Thank you. Being that today I'm debuting an all-music jam today, you are a vocalist in the genre of R&B and soul.
That's correct.
And so this man can sing, this man can sing, this man can sing, y'all. When I say he can sing.
As can all of you.
And he always says that everybody can sing. He even says I can sing, but you guys know I can't hold a note.
She can blow.
But that's a different story.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about you, Mr. Sam. When did you start singing?
Oh, my goodness. I've been singing as far back as I can remember. As a small child, growing up in San Pedro, California here, surrounded by musicians. A lot of musicians in San Pedro, a lot of groups. And so I was around them my entire life. So just seeing them as a little kid was inspirational for me. And I started tinkling around with the piano and the guitar and all that good stuff. I'm not very good at that stuff. I'm really just a balladeer. But just being around those instruments enabled me to learn just a little bit.
Oh, great. Mm-hmm. Well, you started out at a very young age, and so with that very young age start, you've sung with a lot of groups in your time, and you've developed with a lot of different vocalists. Why don't you tell us about some of the mini groups that you've sung with? Just give us a couple of the more famous ones that you've sung with.
Well, there's a lot of groups that I was with. I don't know how famous as far as all over the world would be, but locally here, I started out with singing with the Spruills. Those were a bunch of brothers and sisters who all sang. And they invited me to come in with them and sing with them, and I was so thankful because they were great. A lot of them have passed on. And a lot of the singers that I grew up singing with, God bless them, they're mostly gone now, and I'm still around, thank God. So I've been with the Millennium Project. I've spent some time with the Delphonics and people like that.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
Hurry Up This Way Again is a Delphonic song that I love, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but that one right there, I truly enjoy.
Up this way again. Yeah.
Wow. So I know that, singing off the cuff is something that he does well. So we didn't prepare to have any music per se that we were going to cut and lead into. This is just an afternoon of you and I talking, you telling your story to our friends and family out there in radio and TV.
And I'd like to do a shout out to all my friends and family who may be tuning in at this time. I'd just like to say hello and much love to you all.
Yes, and don't forget to call in. So as soon as that phone starts ringing, we'll be taking, whoever calls in and saying, they can feel free to shout out whatever they'd like.
Give us a call.
While we're here on the air. I happen to have been fortunate enough to meet this gentleman, and don't get me started.
Here we go.
Here we go. And so it was at a very funny time that he just started singing to me and in my face singing to me. I actually had a video of it, and I was trying to pull it up, but we couldn't. I don't know if my engineers finally got it to work or got it in, but if they do before the end of this show, we'll be able to pull up that actual video of him singing at one of our local...
To her.
Now, I don't think this particular song that I pulled up on my iPad was the one you sung to me, so I'll have to look that one up and see on the break if we could find that one. But let me see, in terms of growing up here in Pedro, I know you said San Pedro is your hometown.
You can call it Pedro if you like. That's cool. That's what we call it.
You call it Pedro. But tell us a little bit about your family background. How many brothers and sisters you have?
Well, I have one brother and 3 sisters. The older sister of mine has gone on to be with my mom in heaven. But growing up, there was 5 of us kids, single mom, and she did a tremendous job, by the way. I was the oldest, then my brother, and we had 3 little sisters who we took care of and who we loved dearly. And any of you guys out there who have little sisters, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay. And what's your sisters' names?
Well, the oldest one was Joanne. Susan, we call her Cookie. And then the baby is Donna.
Right. That was Donna I spoke to this morning.
That's right.
Donna, I hope you're out there listening. We're waiting for you to call in and say hello.
She's our sweetie pie.
Oh, okay. Well, I look forward to meeting you as well one day, Donna. So back into the line of music. What was it like traveling on the road?
Oh, my goodness. You want to talk about that? It was great, especially traveling with the band and with your fellow singers. We had a good rapport with each other, so that was great. Sometimes it can get a little crazy, as most musicians will tell you. But other than that, thank God for the casinos, because the casinos keep us busy. There's not as many clubs as there used to be back in the day. There was a club on every block, especially on Crenshaw Avenue here in Inglewood, and a lot of cities around. They had a bunch of clubs, so there was always work. But now they've gone DJs and things like that, so there's not much work for live vocalists and live bands. But with the casinos,
they're still alive.
Yeah, it keeps you busy.
Right. And I know Art LaBelle does a lot of our older groups, R&B.
Art LaBelle, he loves the old school stuff from the 50s and the 60s and stuff like that. I'm a 60s guy, but I grew up listening to the 50s, the doo-wop and Sam Cooke and all those people. Nat King Cole actually was my idol growing up. I wanted to be like Nat King Cole. I wanted to dress like Nat King Cole. I wanted to carry myself like Nat King Cole.
Oh, so what is your favorite Nat King Cole song?
Oh, my goodness. Well, since it's close to Christmas, chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose. I love that.
Wow. You know, he can just belch out a song in a minute, you guys. So don't be surprised if throughout the show you'll be hearing many, many different renditions of songs.
Don't get me started now.
I know, but it's just when you are a natural singer, which I have nothing but singers around me based on what I do in this business, and they are some of the most open and warming people to just somebody calling on them to sing. We're out and about, and on a dime they could get up and blow.
Drop of a dime.
Just tell me the key, tell them the song, and they on it.
Don't need a key.
Yeah, but most of my female women singers, they always say, in the key of this or in the key
of C or G or
right.
whatever.
So that's one of the things that I think about when I talk about singers. I don't know why it's sounding echoey in my ear, but I can hear everything moving.
That sounds good to me.
Okay. So, you know what? We're going to take a quick break. It's been about 10 minutes into the show right now. We're going to take a quick break and come back, and then I'm going to see if I can find that video that you did on a song. Okay. We'll be right back on Jazzabrations Live.
See you in a minute.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Jazzabrations Live. I'm your host, Linda Morgan, and I'm here with my guest, Mr. Tony Sam. And we're in the studio today. This is our debut of our new first Sunday show format, All Music Jam. And Tony Sam is a R&B soul singer, vocalist, and we're just here chatting on the break and chatting about the different styles of music in the R&B genre. Maybe you can give us non-R&B soul individuals a little education about the differences between R&B, which is rhythm and blues, and R&B and soul.
R&B and soul?
Yeah. Aren't they kind of like different genres?
Well, any music can be soul, jazz, R&B, whatever, country, whatever. All music can be soul. It just depends on how it's delivered. Okay, R&B is one thing, jazz is another thing. It's just played differently, but they can all be soul.
They can all have soul?
They can all have soul, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I know that, I'm coming from a background of smooth jazz and now into straight ahead jazz because of the work that I do. But I am so intrigued about how I know all the songs of the 60s. I'm a 60s baby. Was born in the first year of the 60s, 61.
She's a youngster.
I'm a youngster, but a youngster who knows her music.
She certainly does.
I grew up listening to my older brother, Lonnie, sing. He was in a singing group when he was coming up. My older sister, Ernestine, played music around us all the time and sang herself. And then it made me think about when I was growing up. I cannot even think how I've forgotten this, but we used to be in a children's choir called the Singers for God. And I don't know how I forgot that I have been in church all my life singing, but it just kind of got away from me. And so now when you tell me all the time you can sing, you need to blow, I now will start remembering the fact that, yes, Linda, you did used to sing. Rosalie Moody, if you're out there looking at this show, chime in, because her father, Charles Moody, bless his soul as he rests in peace, was her father put us together as a group in our church called Singers for God. And we used to tour all over the country.
Wow, I never knew.
And I never really thought about it because I was just so young and it was just what we did in church. But yes, we used to go to all the churches in L.A. and sing. We were known as one of the baddest little choirs at that time.
Wow. Singers
for God. But, back to you and just this music that you love to do. I know that you just like belting at any time, anywhere. And recently, I've connected you with a friend of mine, Miss Peggy Avila. Peggy, if you're out there, I'm getting ready to talk about you. And we talked about, she's been managing a group for about 30 years.
Dramatic Source.
Yes, Dramatic Force.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a group of 5 gentlemen who have been together for like 30 years or more. And they've lost 3 of the group members. And she heard you singing a couple of Thursdays ago and said, Linda, I think he needs to be in our group. He is a wonderful singer. I said, well, talk to him, see what he thinks about it. And here, lo and behold, you guys connected on last week. And that's a possibility that you will get back to doing active singing with a group called Dramatic Force. So you guys look out for that. Tony, singing baritone. I stay in my lane. Staying in his lane in that group. So it is going to be a nice venture to see you actually performing.
Sure. I haven't actually been. I've been singing solo with bands for a long time now.
Right.
I haven't been with a singing group, with 4 or 5 guys singing since I left the Delphonics. Yeah. So I want to get back to that because I love harmony, and there's nothing like 4-part harmony. If you singers out there know what I'm talking about, 4-part harmony is just incredible. So I'm looking forward to doing a stint with these gentlemen. I've met with them already, and we've done some songs together, and we've kind of melded together pretty nice. And so we'll see where that goes.
Absolutely. Well, I look forward to creating some events and opening up some venues to be able to promote y'all's work.
And thank you so much, Miss Linda. You are incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Really.
I mean, I'm blessed to be able to come up with some ideas and then put action behind them and just make them work.
She's an action lady, y'all.
And so that's just what keeps me going, as I do this work every week. I'm not sure if my engineers, I'm going to get their nod to see if they was able to pull up that video. No, you were not. They nodded to me saying no. So it was MOV, which is a format probably not familiar to the studio. But next time I will make sure that I have the right formats to be able to pull up videos outside. Because that was a great video of you singing. So when you record on your iPhone, they come in that version. So I'll have to remember that for future reference as well. Well, we're just sitting here and we're talking and we're chatting. And one thing I wanted to ask you, and for the audience's sake, when you were singing with the Delphonics, the reaction that you received when you sang the song, Hurry Up This Way Again.
Well, actually, when I sang with the Delphonics, it was myself, Troy Guthrie, and Gary Stevens. We were performing as the Delphonics at that time. The original Delphonics are really no longer together as a whole. They've splintered into,
Different.
But when I was with them, it was myself, Troy Guthrie, and Gary Stevens. And we had it going on. I mean, Gary Stevens and that tenor was incredible. So we were doing all your favorite songs by the Delphonics with all the moves and all that good stuff.
There was another song. What was there?
Which one?
I cannot think of the one that is coming to my head. The main one that everybody would fall out on when you knew it was a Delphonic song. Which one was that?
Well, there's a bunch of them, actually. It just depends on which one you like the most. There's just whichever one you like the most,
Oh, that's true.
I'm trying to think of which one you probably like. I can't think of it.
I can't even think of it either, but there's a famous...
La La Means I Love You.
That's the one, yeah. La 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 means I love you.
You know what I'm talking about back there. The engineer. La 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 means I love you. I wish I could sing that tenor, but I'm a baritone, so I'm going to stay in my lane.
Well, it sounds great either way, whether it was tenor or baritone. But I know I also wanted to talk about just going into singing jazz standards.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought about thinking of some jazz standards?
I have been thinking about it lately, especially since I've known you, and I know that's your forte. I want to start getting into some jazz things, So I'm kind of looking at that right now. Even though I've still got R&B deep in my veins and in my soul, I could probably do some jazz too. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
Great. That would be something to behold. It sounds like I hear a phone call, but I'm not sure. If there's any callers out there in radio land, all of our friends said that they would be calling in. Is there something wrong with that line? Somebody chime in on, let me know. 323-293-3375. Call us and say hello to us today. Say welcome to our first debut show of All Music Live Jam on the first Sundays of the month.
With Taco.
With Taco Sam. Taco Sam, that's right. He's Taco Sam on Facebook, y'all. So, Mr. Taco Sam, can you tell us how you got that name, please?
How I got the nickname of Taco?
Taco, yes.
Well, growing up, as a young kid growing up in San Pedro, I hung out with a lot of Mexican guys on my street. And eventually, as a little kid, I became one. I liked their style. I liked their dress. I liked the shoes they wore. I liked the khakis that they wore. I liked the shirts they wore. And I became a Mexican in my mind. I was talking Mexican, walking Mexican, the whole thing. I just loved it. So when I got to high school, hanging with my Mexican buddies, I walked up to the high school, and the black guy said, "What you doing over there with them, man?" And I said, "Well, those are my compadres. Those are my buddies." And the black guy said, "We're going to start calling you Taco." And that's where it came from.
Wow. Okay, Taco Sam, as he is affectionately called on Facebook. So on the picture, it's Tony Sam on our promo copy. And I look forward to finding out a lot more about you and your singing career and all the things that you're able to do in this music genre as you move forward. I look forward to being an integral part of that movement.
Well, I certainly hope so.
Yes. And so we'll be right back. We're going to take another break and come back with you. This music that you're hearing is my big brother, A. Ray Fuller's music.
All right.
And so that's our intro music. And hopefully you guys will join us on November the 26th at our Jazzabration. I know it's the Thanksgiving weekend. But, it's for those who will be getting back in town. And 5 to 7 in Morningside United Church of Christ, come and join us. We'll be right back with Jazzabrations Live here at Morris Media Studios. Welcome back. Welcome back this Sunday afternoon. I'm your host, Linda Morgan, on Jazzabrations Live here at Morris Media Studios. I am grateful for today. Today in the studio, we are doing a debut show. First Sunday, all music live jam. And my first guest for this show is none other than Tony Sam. Welcome back, Mr. Sam. How are you?
Thank you very much, Linda. I appreciate you, and I thank you for inviting me.
Yes, our friends, with the setback of the time, most of our friends probably are not up yet. No, just kidding. I'm going to give them an excuse as to why they are not calling in. And I don't know if it's, a lot of people don't know that it's on my Jazzabrations Live. This is something new that we're trying out today, going from my Jazzabration Live page versus Jazz Living Legend Linda Morgan page, where most people are used to me going live. So either way, I'm going to do some Facebooking and hopefully show it on my other page so that people can know to call in and say hello and tell us what they like about the show and give us some feedback, give us some compliments and comments, some congrats and all that.
Hopefully compliments.
Well, I take criticism too.
For you anyway.
Yeah, but, I take criticism too because constructive criticism helps as well,
Absolutely.
I'll even take some of my haterators calls because they make me stronger. Mm-hmm. But, I'm sure they will never have enough nerve to pick up the phone and call in at 323-293-3375. I dare them. How about that? So, yes, it's Sunday afternoon. This is the first Sunday of the month, and I'm going to start having different shows on a regular. So this being our first Sunday, we're going to debut this every Sunday as First Sunday, All Music Jam. The second Sundays, I will be featuring our blues legends that I've honored. Third Sundays, because there's so many facets to me, I thought about how am I going to fit all this in, But there's 5 Sundays in a month, so I just need to divide and conquer to make it more feasible to be able to reach out to all the many facets of myself. And so on the third Sundays, because I am a small business entrepreneur, in which I have lots of friends out there who have their own businesses as well, I'll make Thursdays Small Business Jam, where we'll bring some businesses on and we'll talk about their business. Mm-hmm. The fourth Sundays, we're going to do our jazz legends. And then because I am a mom to a 16-year-old who has 1 more year left in high school, and I am on parent committee after parent committee, and went to this advisory group the other day, and they don't have any social media outreach, and so here I go, offered up to do a podcast for them on the 5th Sundays of the month. So there's only next year, there's only 3 5th Sundays. So I said, what the heck? Those 3 5th Sundays for next year will be dedicated to the African American study group, parent study group. And so I created a Facebook page for them. And we're just going to be talking about LAUSD and my high schooler and how the rest of the African American family can get involved with their children's school. Because that's a real topic that I can go into and talk for days. But, I'm a jazz legacy preservationist by heart. And that's the work that I've been doing for the last 7 years. But I want to be able to have this platform to reach a multitude of people. And so that's why I welcome you this debut first Sunday for All Music Sunday Jam. And then that way I can concentrate on those individuals who are not in jazz or blues, but they do R&B, they do gospel, they do soul, and they even do a little smooth jazz. I know that's that topic we really don't talk about much, with us purists and all, but that way I can concentrate on them as well.
Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar. Okay.
Let me hear it, Linda.
No. We will not be hearing that today.
Johnny Dollar.
And so I was thinking and hoping that Miss Peggy would call in and say a little few words since, we've made the introduction to her. And Miss Sam, I'm thinking something's wrong with that phone, y'all. Because for nobody to call, y'all test it out yourself, call in here and see what's going on. Because it seems awfully quiet on his first Sunday.
Yeah.
And again, it could be that, like I said, that I put it out to my other channel. And so hopefully we'll test this out this week and then we'll go back to my other channel.
Well, hopefully we'll get some comments to let us know
that, they were out there.
Right.
Yeah, people will tell us personally.
I hope so.
Yeah. And so I did want to, is there a song that you could acapella can sing that you can just
off the top of my head?
Yeah.
Wow, you're putting me on the spot.
I know it. To fill up some of this air, just sing something to me.
To you?
No, to the audience.
Step right up. Hurry, hurry. Before the show begins. My friends, stand in line. Get your tickets. I hope you will attend. It'll only cost you 50 cents to see. How many of y'all remember that? Sideshow.
Yes. I remember that.
You remember that, man?
Mr. Morris is shaking his head. Yes, he remembers
that was a tenor also.
He remembers that as well. I am sitting in the studio with the famous Mr. Johnny Morris. If y'all don't know, this is Morris Media Studio.
Yes.
The famous Johnny Morris is Felicia's dad. So I'm excited. He's decided to do my shows, be my personal engineer. Yes. So I am over the moon excited, sir, with you being in the booth today. Thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon with me here at Morris Media Live. Sideshow was that was a song that I know. And I know that there are many, many songs as we listen to Pandora. I've created my own stations on Pandora and songs will just pop up and then we will just start belting them out and singing them together, which I know you're amazed sometimes at how I know all these songs. Like I said, my brother and sisters used to always play oldies when I was coming up. So
you're just a know-it-all. That's what you are.
I just remember them playing those songs and the words just stuck in my head. So that's how I'm able to sing them and repeat them. And so I know that yes, I'm out here, I'm doing multitasking. I'm on my computer, I'm on my phone. I'm doing multiple things because that's just a little busy bugger that I am. Just really wanting to see what's going on out there in computer world, computer land. So as I sit here, y'all, while you're here with us here in the studio, I wonder is there a way to live chat on the radio? Probably not. But in any aspect, I'm just excited today to debut this new schedule that we will have for the shows going forward. So those who want to be on the show, you're welcome to call me at 740-837-7377. That's my Jazzabrations line. And definitely so that you could choose a show in December. I'm starting to book for the shows in December because I do have all of the shows booked for November already. Yay! So it's definitely looking great. And so, again, I'm looking forward to just making this show the number one show on the Morris Media Studio roster.
And I'm sure it will.
And with the help of all my friends, I know that we can get it done. And so with that, we're going to take another break, take a little commercial break, and we'll come back with some final thoughts and be able to wrap up this show for the day.
Linda's final thoughts.
Welcome back to Jazzabrations Live. I'm your host, Linda Morgan, and you are listening to our debut show for First Sunday All Music Live. And I understand we have a caller on the line. Caller, thank you for calling. Who's on the line?
You're quite welcome. Khalifa's on the line. How are you?
Khalifa, how are you?
I'm great today, great today. Just happened to be sitting here at my computer and saw that you were on, so I said, let me check in and say congratulations. I think this is a great platform for you. And you're going to make it work like you always do with everything else.
Oh, thank you so much, Khalifa, for calling in. For a minute there, I thought something was wrong with the phone lines, but I am trying out new technology, and I'm broadcasting from my Jazzabrations Live Facebook page. Is that the page that you found us on today?
That's the page I'm on. And on your, jazz, the advertisement you have, I had originally called the 740 number. But that's not it, so you might want to give out the 323 number often so people can catch you just like I did.
Well, I thank you for that bit of constructive comments, because that helps us to really understand what our listening audience is looking at. But thank you. Do you happen to know our guest that's here on the show today?
Yes, I do. I was happy to be acquainted with him on yesterday, and I did like that old R&B song there.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing real good. And yourself?
Doing real good, real good. I had posted I wanted to hear some of that Delphonics.
Oh, my Lord.
But I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
I think I already did do a little taste.
You did, and it was wonderful. I like that.
Not really, because I'm not a tenor now.
So you have to sing your part that you sung on the song.
But he was good.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, Miss Khalifa, and please spread the show around on your Facebook page. I would appreciate that. Thank you for calling in, and hopefully you can tune in with us every Sunday. We'll have a different show.
Absolutely. You all have a wonderful show. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Well. So I was glad to hear that at least somebody was out there listening and that the lines were working. And it takes some time. First Sundays, it's a lot of busy people doing church and all that. Mm-hmm. But as we start to pick up and advertise more about our different show formats, I'm looking forward to our show, like I said, being a number one show here on Morris Media Studios.
And I'm sure it will be, Linda.
Absolutely. Next week, it will not be a legend week, but it will be a guest by the name of Larambe Baker. Mm-hmm. He is a phenomenal songwriter. So I'm looking forward to showing him and showcasing his music and work. So we'll do a lot more promoting next week on that. And then the third week, I have the phenomenal Angie Wells, who is a jazz singer. Mm-hmm. Incredible singer, sister who can sing herself off. I'll make sure that we definitely will have all of their music so that we can hear more music, because I want the listeners to be able to hear these incredible voices that you all have. I'm just going to be the platform to be around this incredible voices.
Well, we thank you for that too.
Absolutely. And then on the fourth Sunday, which is our Jazzabration, November the 26th, that's the card that you've been seeing on the screen. I will actually have one of my jazz legends, Mr. Phil Ranelin. He's a trombonist. He will be on the show at 8:30. Remember, on the fourth Sundays, we're here at 8:30 in the morning because we have our show from 5 to 7. And so he's going to be on that show along with Drea Courtney, Mr. Henry Franklin, Carl Burnett on drums, and Rich Eames on piano. So these are all legends that I've honored in the past.
Phenomenal people.
And they're all coming to be a part of that show on the fourth Sunday. And so I'm just excited. I'm grateful for just new visions in terms of thinking of the new shows that we're going to be putting out for the next year. The first Sundays, again, is going to be called First Sunday All Music Jam. Second Sunday, Blues Jam, Blues Legends Jam. Third Sunday will be my third Sunday Small Business Jam. Mm-hmm. Fourth Sunday will be my Jazz Jam, Jazz Living Legends Jam. And then the fifth Sunday will be, again, the Parent Forum. Looks like we have another caller calling in. Thank you for calling. Who's on the line?
Hi, Linda. This is Phyllis.
Hey, Phyllis, how are you, dear?
I'm doing fine. I called to say hello to you and your guest.
Hi, Phyllis. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm good.
You look fantastic.
Oh, my God. Quit lying. You lie too much.
I just love it. I love what you guys are doing. I love what you're doing. And so glad that you're sharing your gifts with all the rest of us.
Oh, thank you so much. Phyllis is one of our Jazz Living Legends, and I am so excited about a project that was birthed on this show. Yeah. I had one of my legends come on the show, and she had not had a CD released yet, and so we decided that we would create a CD compilation project, and Phyllis Causey, who's on the line with us, is going to be on that compilation, as well as Miss Pat Sly and Miss Sylvia Boyd. We're going in the studio as early as the first week of December. So look out for a Christmas CD. It won't be Christmas music, but we'll be releasing it around Christmas time. And that project was birthed from this show. So I thank you so much,
You're
Miss
so
Phyllis.
welcome. Thank you, Linda, for everything that you do, because you are certainly a pioneer.
Oh,
All right. Thank you. Okay, guys.
Okay, have a good
for
one.
Calling.
You too. All right.
Yes. So, yes, Phyllis Causey is one of the inspirational jazz legends that I've honored, who keeps me always being creative and innovative and thinking of ideas of things to do. She actually is going to come to church. I was looking for you to come to church today, girlie. But anyway, I look forward to that, for her coming and being a part of my church. And she has she's a teacher at a college. Phyllis, escape me. She'll be at Industry Jazz Cafe on the 19th, I believe it is. She has a show coming up. I'm going to your page on Facebook. Yes, I'm doing it live.
Trolling.
Today. And so, yes, Industry Cafe and Jazz, $20 cover. And it's Sunday the 19th from 4 to 7, singing that song. She's a teacher, and all of her students, her workshop class will be completed, and they'll be able to come there and sing their songs live. So I am looking forward to that, and I will share this on Jazzabrations Live. Miss Phyllis, thank you for calling in and being a part of our show today. So you're reminding me to share your event with the world. And so, well, Mr. Tony Sam, we only have about 5 minutes left in the show. And so I definitely wanted to, again, thank you.
Pleasure's mine.
For being here. And thank you for your wonderful gift that God has given you.
Thank you.
To be able to just belt out a song at the drop of a dime.
And I want all of you out there to know that Miss Linda Morgan can sing.
He says that.
Okay?
Well, see, if he had prepared, I would have sung something with him today. But, I need some track music or something.
No, she don't.
And to be able to just belt out publicly, I don't know about that. Well, if you start singing a song, I might just belt out. How about that?
Many guys have come to you with a line that wasn't true, and you passed them by. Passed them by.
Now you're reconsidering.
Ooh.
And your mind don't mean a thing.
See what I'm talking about?
See, I don't know nothing about that. I just know that I do love singing, and I just haven't done it in a long time. And
all y'all can sing out there.
Everybody can sing. And Phyllis Causey can make you really visualize that song.
That's right.
If you really, you know what, Phyllis, I may need to come to your class, since this man is just constantly telling me about singing. Maybe let me just come take the class, and then that'll be my debut. I'll come
Make
on my
her come, Phyllis. Make her come.
I'll come on my radio show and say, hey, I'm now a singer. I sung on Phyllis's show in her class. So I'm looking forward to that. I will do that. I'm committing on live on my show that I'm going to go and be in Phyllis's class and take my singing to the next level.
All right.
Could y'all imagine
Get
Linda
ready,
Morgan singing?
Yes.
Yes.
With a flower in her hair.
No. We're not having it. But anyway, it's been great. It's been fun.
Well, thank you.
An hour really goes by really fast.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And I'm again just welcoming our debut show today, which we are going to be calling First Sunday All Music Jam. Please tell a friend to join us every Sunday from 3 to 4, except on the fourth Sunday, where we will be here at 8:30 a.m. Please share our page on Facebook, Jazzabrations Live. Keep the music alive by helping us to preserve the legacies of our jazz and blues legends, to keep this music going for generations to come. Until next week, I'm your host, Linda Morgan, on Jazzabrations Live here at Morris Media Studios. Bye-bye till next week.
See y'all later.